First, I wrote this on my computer and I printed it, and then I thought, what the fuck? We are a generation born from disk defragmentation, the deterioration of civilization, an era of genetic alteration recreating the bios of our already cyborg nation, predefined movements calculated and computer-generated by deterministic mechanizations, a sovereign occupation overthrowing traditional forms of communication, amalgamating people as minor bytes to an android organization. We are the products of industrialization, the specification towards the justification of computerized amputation. We are a generation stuck in analog mode, speaking through the binary codes of our cell phones and windows. Our tablets go wherever the wind goes. Even in sleep mode, our eyes are glued to the TV. We be what we see, but never see what we be, confined to the bandwidths of our 3G, compressed like sardines or MP3s. Our freedom is the width of the LCD, and the only colors we see are in LED, learning to speak through QWERTY keys and keyboard strokes before cursive weaves and bullet point notes. Looking through computer screens, our eyes have become desensitized to the purgatory, which is why each time you poke me on Facebook, I think, how nice of you. You even know the spot that tickle. Now, I don't mean to sound as fickle as the point of a sickle or cold-hearted like the soul of a killer, but these days we don't even talk much like saints and sinners. What happened? We used to be like heart and liver. I know you read on my wall like a graffiti of Song Call, and the art you do was cool and all, but I'd rather have you over for dinner. Maybe we could take a walk through the park, stalk the stars to paint the dark, Maybe we could take a walk through the park like an owner and a dog, find a pause to stalk the stars, paint the dark with the memories which we lost. Not to sound overly sentimental, but I'd rather continue writing this letter. And for the record, a handshake would be better than a virtual high five to arouse the curiosity of what you now feel like. If my words haven't provided enough persuasion, then take this into consideration. Girls are using iPads for their periods. If you seem to think I'm delirious, then I'm sorry to inform you the situation is serious.
When I first read you, you seemed just like the others. I thought you were just an average prose. I didn't know you'd be that poem that could change me, rearrange the rhythms of perspective in my life. I think I understand love poems now. See, when I first read you, I didn't notice anything special, so instead I started listening to you, because poems are better understood when they're heard, and it took a while to understand some of your verbs. At times I just didn't get you, and this is what interested me, because you were hard to get, and just when I think I finally understood, I still don't get you. Because each time I rehearse each verse, I learn something new. Each time I recite you, I get more inspired to write with you. You see, analyzing is hard work, but I will fight for you, because the reward for recognition is in sight with you, and I see that I gain a better understanding. See, poetry is more demanding than the average prose. I've memorized some parts of you. I could tell from your title, your words are connotations, your verbs are double meanings, and are demonstrations of how lovely you are. I respect your metaphors. I've lost sleep over you, talking to you late at night, trying to get to know you better. Your verses change when I begin to figure out your figurative language. I can hear your heart aches, and I approach your alliterations of anguish. It's okay. I embrace flaws and pain. From your lines, I learned about your past. They tell me what hurts you, what makes you laugh. I also can tell you're incomplete. You aren't even finished yet. You're missing some words, some lines, and I see potential stanzas, and I see future rhymes. You don't have to write everything alone. I want to help you discover yourself. You see, I'm a poet. I understand that sometimes words have a deeper purpose. I know which words are real and which are worthless. I don't pay attention to just the words, but more importantly to how it's said. Because tone can tell me how you feel about commitment way more than a simple "I think it's important" can. Your verses about staying up until 6 a.m., working late nights to finish your assignments are beautiful. Your tired look is the best makeup you can put on. It shows your hard work. Your sleepy voice is absolutely adorable. And yes, I'm talking about poetry still, because you speak to me. And I dig you completely because you're probably the most intelligent poem ever written. I don't think I can ever comprehend you. I love how you pay attention to the little things, noticing. See, it was this process that made me attracted to you. And since poetry is best read with your lips, teeth, and tongue, let my voice be breathed into a good poem. There is pleasure in the reading. Let me be a contributing author, because in the process of the past months we've been talking, I'm starting to think of you as a love poem. A found poem that hasn't found me yet. So let me say this profoundly. I want to help you write your story. I want to be part of the pages in life, because now you're not just an average prose. You demand more reading than that, and each time I read you, you impact me, leave me with a feeling that make my words dance and smile off the page. Perhaps it's a bit of an understanding, because now I finally get it. I love you more than poetry.
There is pleasure. Somewhere in the city at this very moment, pleasure is taking place. Some of the pleasure is spontaneous, a kiss surprising its receiving lips. Some of the pleasure is planned, perfectly articulated, appointed, and scheduled. And my question is this: does the fact that my pleasure is paid for justify being called a whore? I want to ask you what you mean when you say this word. Do you mean to say that I use my body like an ATM with no swiping, just stroking, that the only strip on this machine is a verb, not a noun, and the only pin you'll need is the pin pricks that crawl up your spine when I press your body to mine? You call me an ATM. So is that what makes me a whore? Your vile use of a couple metaphors, or not having enough money to put myself through university, to pay the bills like the breadwinner of a family? Is that what makes me a whore? Or the fact that I don't count the stars anymore because I'm too busy counting ceiling tiles that'll never guide me home, because I'm too busy counting the exasperated breaths of a wealthy man trying to fall asleep instead of counting sheep. I don't count the stars anymore, so you replace my constellations with condemnations like the word whore, like I'm not even human anymore because I'm tired of living off OSAP. I don't want no sap, and besides, HOSAP pays more. But all I get from you is this insult. All I get from you is this insult whore. And sentences I don't want to hear anymore. Life sentences. I spent night after night in a jail cell called the Hilton Hotel, closing my eyes and realizing how money burns faster than desire, and limousine rides are never long enough to subdue nausea, and hotel desk clerks never smile sincerely enough to assure you that they are as naive as I wish they were, that they don't know that the only thing attractive about the man I'm with are the contents of his wallet, and that my heels are higher than my hourly rate, and I'm tired of being paid by the hour like a parking meter, so men will have a place to park their cars when they don't have a proper garage at home. I'm tired of having to tell myself that a wife who hasn't slept with her husband in 5 years is breaking the wedding vows just as much as he is by asking if he can call me by her name. I'm tired of this job. I'm tired of learning the ins and outs of the business. I'm tired of learning the ins and outs of this business. I'm tired of trying to keep time with my hourglass. I'm tired of being 2 hands on his clock. I'm tired of waiting for the last stroke. I'm tired of this oral fixation leading to eternal damnation. I just want salvation. I just want salvation. I'm flirting with salvation with no intention of being saved. And you call me whore. And the men who seek my pleasure, you call dignified, respectful. Where do you think they get their dignity? They get it from taking mine, and that they go home to their lives, to their wives, to their children and their lives. They go home to warm beds, and guilt doesn't fester in their heads, and they might even feel good about themselves, like Robin Hood, like they just gave to the poor, and the shame they ignore, they're the same as before, but you have the nerve to call me the whore.
What? I had a best friend, and her name was Raindrops. It's not that she made the pain stop or the drains drop less fluid from the faucets of my eyes, but in my life she was a cry for consistency. Whenever there was a storm in the midst of me, she came with the thunder and started lightening my load by listening. Her misty eyes told me stories as we raced down the window pane until we ran out of windows. And without a goodbye to settle the score, she evaporated, leaving me exasperated. When I cold fronted her, she told me she had found herself a weatherman, which frustrated me because it meant I was being replaced by someone whose profession relies on people being too lazy to look out the window. Yet the dry spells continued, and it was far from enchanting when I finally got my head out of the clouds and realized I was alone. In the silent kind of storm where it seems like the skies are on fire, like the deserts on Mars but drier, the stars were drowning, but I was alone. Deserted in the Gobi, praying for prescription to precipitation, but it didn't come. And now I'm just bitter. I guess I was fooled by her sunny disposition. She was dependable. I didn't think my position in her life was so expendable. Now, this isn't a claim that friends are forever and boys are whatever. I just hope that when you were falling from the sky and someone caught you, you'd be a little more grateful. You see, she was broken, she was stewing like I was in the habit of doing, and we helped each other. She showed me clear skies and I showed her brainstorms. She showed me tornado eyes and I found a shelter, but who needs friends, right? Not Rain when she's got a boy to keep her afloat. Now maybe, oh brother, she's his Cinderella. But next time it rains, I'm bringing an umbrella, because friends just don't do that to each other. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. No matter how friendly you are, or how cold, or how tethered, you can't control the weather.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, while Chris figures out scores and stuff, just a few words. This is the end of our 3rd season of BAM. We're already all booked for next season, so we're going to be back here in the Central next season. We are starting on January 11th with the... And at some point next season, Crystal Mullen will feature. When she's not filming commercials in Mexico. So we're going to be back here on the 11th of January with an Anything Goes Slam featuring Brendan McLeod, hosted by Scumilk. It's going to be amazing. I just want to give a couple quick shout-outs. Thank you once again to the Central for having us here and for being so awesome to us and continuing to have us here. Thank you to the Toronto Poetry Project for helping to support this event over the last 3 years. And thank you to the BAM Youth Slam organizing team, which, aside from myself, is Spencer, Shuli, and Scumilk. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Chris C., our scorekeeper. Alright, so from 7 to 1, and these are all 4 scores from the semis and from the finals added together. So coming in 7th overall with a 94.5, give it up for Waleed. In 6th with a 95.1, Bidan. So coming in 5th place, and come on up to the stage, this is going to be the team alternate for this year, with a 95... Wait, do we have a tie here? Yeah. Oh! Okay. Overtime. Alright, so... Fist fight! So, okay. Alright, so
I'll judge this fist fight.
So guys, okay, so basically we figured out by the score on the last poem. I have been informed. That's how Crystal would do it? Okay. Well, okay, we'll figure it out. So, maybe we'll have a slam off, maybe we'll figure something out. So, tying for 4th place, I should say then, with a 95.4, please give it up for Olga and Saman. Okay. Coming in 3rd with a 97.9. Give it up for Sheila. Coming in 2nd with a 100.1. Kurt. And that means that this season's grand champion with a 104.5, Ambrosia. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2012 Toronto Youth Slam team. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing season. I hope that you guys will join us next season as we get bigger and better. Judges, please put all the... Thank you, Coach. Please put all the scorecards at the front where you paid your entrance fee. Do support the poets. Once again, guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you back here January for the Anything Goes Slam.